Hello everyone, this is Pathways to Pillar. My name is Cole Powell. I'd just like to talk to you guys today a little bit, about false beliefs. False beliefs that, have held us like hostage mentally, even emotionally, maybe even spiritually, that have held us hostage in our lives. And that they're not physical barriers. They're not like a wall. They're not a door. They're not like a cell, anything like that in a physical sense. But in a mental sense, an emotional one, and maybe even a spiritual one, that we've held ourselves hostage, okay, to the persons, places, things, addictions, traumas, struggles, all these different things in our life, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, which is very draining, and it's just held us back from being our best self, accepting our authentic best self. And I've had to realize this with myself. Like, there was a lot of things that I was using to hold myself hostage. I gotta fix this so that y'all can see me a little bit better. I had to work on these things and realize what barriers that I was creating within myself that was holding myself hostage, that was holding my growth hostage, that was holding my successes hostage from even being able to come into fruition into my life. And it was such a struggle to realize that I was the cause of it, that I was the cause of the hardships that I was enduring, that I was bringing these things into fruition myself by the way that I thought, by the way that, like, my belief systems, and that by the labels that I was allowing others to put on me, and that I was accepting those labels, as an ex-convict, a drug dealer, a drug addict, a dope fiend, a criminal, a piece, a liar, whatever. I was allowing these labels to be put on me, and I was accepting them. Which is the saddest thing, is I was just accepting these as that, instead of accepting the fact of who I really am. I'm Cole Weston Powell. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I'm the son of the Most High God. I'm smart. I'm a hard worker. I'm very compassionate. I have empathy. I love people. I'm genuine. I'm humble. I'm strong. These are labels that I know are my best self traits and my authentic self. I still have the swagger or whatever of a guy that comes out of the hood. I still have that swagger. Like, that's me being authentic. It's like, hey, I've been where you've been, and these are just some of the things that come along with it. It doesn't mean that's who I am. I'm not ghetto. I'm not these negative things. Those are just behaviors that I do. And I recognize that. There are just some of the behaviors that I do that maybe are not that savory or not the best behaviors, but they're still who I am. And, I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to allow God to work on that in time. And I don't have to be perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. Everybody's going to make mistakes, and I just need to show myself some grace, and I need to expect that I'm not perfect, that I'm not going to be perfect. Like, I'm human. I'm that just being realistic with myself so that I don't just have a pity party and beat myself up because I can't be perfect. I can just strive to do better every day and just try to do the best I can and really invest in myself and love me, But some of my false beliefs that have held me hostage is, oh, the cops are always after me. They're just always after me. Oh, I'm a bad person. Oh, the world's against me. everybody hates me. You know, all these generalizations that I would use to hold myself hostage. Oh, I'm never going to amount to nothing. Oh, because I'm a felon, I can't get a job. You know, just all these different things that allowed me not to love me and accept me. And it was just me being a liar to myself, me being a liar to everybody, and me being lazy and not releasing my potential. You know, but I created a little, I guess you could call it a fairy tale, a fable, or whatever, to try to explain what I'm talking about. And I want to share this fable, this story, this wives' tale with you guys. Okay? So, back in, you know, the Renaissance times, okay? In the Renaissance times, there was a major oil baron, and he lived in a massive castle, okay? He lived in this massive castle at the top of this mountain, okay? And he started trying to, like, take over the land and go in and trying to take over people's properties. He started trying to charge taxes and everything to everyone, okay? Well, there was a guy, he was very poor, and he just couldn't afford to pay all the taxes and stuff. So that baron, he goes and has his goons, his soldiers, okay, go and kidnap that guy. Go take him and arrest him and bring him. They walk him through town and everything. They walk him up the mountain like on a spectacle. You know, this is what we're doing with this dude. And they take him over the drawbridge, through the courtyard, and then down these really deep, dark steps going down, down, down into the cellar, okay? And they take him into this cell, and they throw him in there, and they slam the door, okay? Slam the door closed. He's sitting in there for like 5 years, and he's just stressing out. It's pitch black constantly. Every day, the jailer comes in, opens the door, throws a loaf of bread and some water in there, and slams the door shut. Okay? 10 years goes by. Still, the same things are going on. Just every day, the same thing. Some water, some bread. Handle your business, you know? And he's going through so many different torments, you know, of, should I commit suicide? What should I do? Like, should I freak out? Like, after 20 years of going through this, he's thinking about committing suicide. And the guy that's in the cell, he's like, I'm going to commit suicide. I'm done with this. I give up. I'm just so over it. Just so over it. How many times in our life are we just so over things, you know, and just frustrated with life, you know? So he's sitting there, he's like, you know what? If I'm going to commit suicide, if I'm going to die anyways, then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to check this door, and I'm going to attack this jailer in the morning. And I'm going to kill him, take his keys and lock him in here and everything. And then I'm going to get out of here. Like, if he's going to kill me, he's going to kill me, whatever, because I'm going to kill myself. It doesn't matter. You know? He was pushed into a corner. He's finally at his wit's end over this situation. But he walks over, and he's groping around the walls and everything. And he reaches down, and he grabs the door, and he checks the lock, and it's like, you know, he opens the door opens. He's like, what? For real? Like, I can't believe this. The door's open. Oh, man, I can't believe it. You know? He shuts it real quick, and he's like, oh, man, I think I'm going to get out of here right now. I'm just going to go. So he creeps out. He opens the door, boom, creeps out of it. He takes off walking. He walks it up the stairs, those dark, all the way up into the light. There's 2 guards standing by. He hides up against the wall. And they just look at him like, what is this dude doing? Why is he acting all weird, you know? He's like, well, I guess they're not going to bother me, you know? And he keeps walking. He gets to the courtyard and he sees all these guards and everything. Nobody stops, nobody yells, nobody does nothing. He just just starts to saunter across it. You know, he just starts walking across the courtyard, gets to the drawbridge, and he sees the guards up there with guns and everything. And they don't do nothing. They don't say nothing. He walks out of there, over the drawbridge and down the mountain, and he lives happily ever after. He lives happily ever after. The only thing that was holding him hostage is him mentally thinking the door was locked. He was thinking that the door was locked. It wasn't even locked. How many times in our mind are we saying, hey, we're trying to read minds and say, they're not going to let me do that because of this. They're not going to do this because of that. I'm not going to get that job because I'm a felon. I'm not going to be able to move past my addiction because I've been a drug addict my whole life. I'm not going to be able to move past alcoholism because it's hereditary. It's been passed down from generation to generation to generation. I'm not going to be able to conquer my depression and stuff because my mom had depression. She was badly in depression. So I'm just going to keep having it, you know? Or how many times are we like, I have cancer. We're claiming these things in our lives that they're not real. They're not real. We're claiming these things and saying that this is who we are, and it's not. It's just a behavior. It's just things that happen. It's just perhaps, but we're holding ourselves hostage to these things. We're allowing these things to run our lives and everything, and we're trying to live life on our terms and say, this is only what life can do. This is all that life can give me. And because of that, that's all life's going to give us. Like, I needed to stop holding myself hostage. I needed to stop saying I was Mack Truck. I'm not Mack Truck. I'm Cole Powell. I am Cole Weston Powell. Okay? That's who I am. And when I was baptized, I was given new names. The Lord gave me new names. Okay? He gave me the name David Solomon so that I would be my older brother David. And King David in the Bible couldn't build the temple in Jerusalem. Okay? King Solomon was able to. Okay? So my older brother, he had the opportunity to do that, to build the temple of us and everything, but he couldn't lay down who he was. He couldn't allow God and Jesus Christ to be the king of his life. Okay? So I believe God put that on my heart, and that my brother in heaven is giving me the strength to be able to do that. I needed his courage and his big strong muscles and his big heart for people to be able to do that for my family, to rebuild and break the generational curses so that I can rebuild the temple of my family so that generational stuff stops here. It stops with me, and it don't go on to my children and my grandchildren. It don't go on, keep going with my little brother and my nephews, that it stops right here. That I don't allow any of us to be held hostage by, oh, you're a Powell. This is who you are. You're a Powell, and we know about you Powells. No, I'm not. I'm Cole, and it is what it is. You know, I know who I am, and I want to accept my best self and love me and stop holding myself hostage. And it's been amazing, and I'm living my God dream of a life, and I hope that every one of you will stop allowing obstacles to hold you hostage and be your best authentic self, and know that you are blessed, you are highly favored, and that you are a child of the Most High, and that God has great things for you, and to expect Him to show out in your life. Expect the bonds of addiction, the bonds of trauma, the bonds of past things that we held ourselves hostage to be broken in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Thank you guys so much. You all have a great day.